Testing, testing. Am I live? Am I live? Is look, is the microphone on? Can y'all hear me? Because y'all know I will be muting. I will be muted. Hey y'all, let's go and get started. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a second. Come on in, like and share as you come in. This is a very rare afternoon live. The sun is still out. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:32 in the afternoon in the ATL. And we got some serious topics. I was literally about to pre-record this video, and I'm like, here, I might as well just go live and talk to people. So I don't care if I got an audience or not. We are in here and we are ready to roll. And we're gonna get started in just a second. Hold on. Let me find my intro, child.
Get ready, because you about to be an ATLien. ATLien.
Now somebody check my temperature. Sunrise. What are you talking about? Like I look, I be up during the day sometimes, and I'm up today. I was actually I was like, listen, let's talk. Let's talk. Everybody want me to talk about this because y'all know what my experience has been, honey. I've been like harassed, and when I say some of the same things, but we're gonna talk about Macy Gray today. I didn't even make a thumbnail. You see my little blue channel icon that popped up? I didn't even make a thumbnail for this. I'm like, this is a serious conversation, and I need to have it. I need to have it right now. Macy Gray is facing a lot of backlash for some of the things that she has said on Piers Morgan talk show. Now, I don't know if some of you have seen it or not. If some of you have seen it or not, but there are some people that are a bit upset. He said this is going to be a good debate that may leave some triggered. Okay, coming from a woman who has been harassed by transgender people for having a view of womanhood that, listen, transgender people, listen, please don't come for me. Okay, don't come for me. Just because I am pro me does not mean I'm anti you. But some of the things that Macy Gray said made a lot of sense. And we're going to get into it. Macy Gray appeared on Piers Morgan's talk show earlier, well, Monday, July 4th. And basically, they started having a conversation about the transgender community. Okay. Morgan said he believed that a lot of people are too terrified to say what a woman is, which, lit a fire under Macy Gray, and she opened up about a lot of the things that she felt. So one of the things that she said was some would say a human with boobs. How about you start there? Okay. So basically, like, what is a woman? That is that under debate now? Like, there are so many things that goes into womanhood. It's more than boobs. It's more than pretty dresses. It's more than makeup. It's more than hair, lashes, and fingernails. And apparently, some people feel that trans people feel that that is what makes you a woman. Now, in response to all of that, Macy Gray said that, surgery cannot make you a woman. Doesn't matter what you do, how you do it. It doesn't matter how feminine you make your face. It doesn't matter if you put in cheekbones and, make you look less of a man. It does not make you a woman. So here is the clip of what she said for context. We're gonna get into this, chat, because I know y'all already ready to drag me. I see y'all in here now. The LGBTQ community is in their feelings. Hold on, I'm gonna share it. Hold on, I'm gonna share it. We're gonna look at it. Shout out to Bossip for actually putting the clip in. Here is the Piers Morgan Twitter, and he said, "What women go through is a completely unique experience, and surgery or finding yourself doesn't change that." That is one of the quotes, one of the exact quotes that Macy Gray said. Hold on, I'm gonna put this tweet up here if I can. Here's the Twitter right here. And I'm going to play this video. Now, before I play the video, y'all already know what we got to do. Here is my disclaimer. You can read it along with me if you can. If you can't read, you can listen. Disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Okay. Do y'all know what we're doing right now? We are. I ain't hear y'all say it. Oh, okay, there goes Cheryl. Cheryl said we researching. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Shout out to Kim MPA. Says there seems to be a disconnect. Trans people need to realize that womanhood is not reduced to surgery, and cishet women need to realize it isn't attack. Listen, I don't know what a cishet is. Okay, I am a woman. Okay, I listen, there's trans women and there are women. I don't like the cis word because it starts to make distinctions that aren't there. And that's just my opinion. I know people are like, this is a scientific word. Now that it ain't scientific to me, I didn't make that up. Anywho, let me go ahead and play this clip. And share. Here is Piers Morgan, and here is the video.
Ask you what a woman is, what would you say?
Let's say a human being with boobs. You have to start there.
Yeah, I mean, the dictionary is quite straightforward. It just
And
says
a
a human,
vagina.
adult, female,
Yeah.
right?
No, a lot of people. Yeah, see, that's a little getting confusing. Oh, she, they, that's gonna.
And I'm not sure why, really. It's a bit like this whole issue of transgenders in sport. Because I support all trans rights to fairness and equality.
Me too.
But not where you have people born to obvious physical superior bodies.
Me too.
Transitioning and then thrashing the women at their sport.
I totally agree. And I will say this, and everybody's gonna hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Uh-oh, here we go. Just because you go and change your parts, it doesn't make you a woman. Can we all agree? Can we all agree it is very much more than what you look like on the outside?
You feel that?
I know that for a fact. Like, if you want me to call you a her, I will, because that's what you want. But that doesn't make you a woman just because I call you a her and just because you got a surgery.
Because people do feel that there's biological sex and then there's gender identity, that you can identify as whatever you like
you can call
in terms of a gender, right?
Yeah,
that's the freedom we live in.
Absolutely.
But actually, you can't change the mechanics of biological sex. They are what they are.
Well, just like women go through just a completely unique experience, and surgery or finding yourself doesn't change that. Being a little girl is a whole epic book, and you can't have that just because you want to be a woman.
I mean, that when people like J.K. Rowling,
they are pushing it. I know y'all. Do y'all hear what she said? I don't see nothing wrong with that. Do y'all see anything wrong with that? Being a woman is a unique experience. Being a little girl is a unique experience. There's some things that we go through that people who are born male will never go through, even if they get breasts, even if they get a new wig, even if they have makeup, even if they look like fish, as they like to call us. They will never go through the same struggles as biological women. Let's continue.
Have said this. They get attacked, they get abused.
Yeah.
The cancel culture mob comes from me. She gets called transphobic and so on. You might get the same for saying it.
But it's the truth. And I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree with, I just, there's a lot of, judgment and throwing stones at people for just saying what it is. You know what I mean?
Can we say a salute? Can we say a salute for Macy Gray right now? Can we? Can we? Because she did not say one thing wrong. Now, when things are taken out of context, when we see a lot of the LGBTQ and gay men and transgenders, everybody all online having a hissy fit over what Macy Gray say, and it is actual and factual. What happened and why is she receiving so much backlash for saying what many of us know is true? And like for whatever reason, we've been bullied into not saying anything. Yes, you want to be called a her. Okay, I call you a her. Yes, you. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just so tired of this whole um situation. Meanwhile, she has faced a ton of backlash, not just a little bit, a lot of bit of backlash. And Macy Gray has even hit the internet to discuss it. Her album has been pushed back. People have been protesting about her. People are calling her transphobic. Listen, I don't know if they've gone to her record label and say, don't buy the album or whatever, but she wrote this about a couple of hours ago, and she said her album has been pushed back to August 10th. Dang. She said, all of you coming on my page, threatening me and calling me names just because I said something you don't agree with, be whatever you want to be and fuck off. Okay? Why is it that as women, we cannot sit here in our womanhood and say what we think? I mean, she was asked a direct question and she gave a direct answer, and there is nothing wrong with it. Okay. You said this is ridiculous. They just gonna silence women. We get it from every direction. We getting it from the Supreme Court. We getting it from men. Listen, the transgender rights groups are having a field day because they are getting more rights than actual women with wombs. And you can't even, and most women, they're trying to stop women from being called women anymore because they're saying that trans men, which is people who were born as women with wombs and cycles and periods, have babies. And it's like, do they not realize that they are still women? It's like the confusion for me. And it's like people keep trying to force that their ideal ideas on people, and it's not right. Noni said you can't change your sex. It is there in every single cell in the body. Chromosomal, genetic, hormonal, psychological, brain, sex, all different. Okay. T from China said Macy was speaking facts. Now, listen, I don't want to offend anybody, and that is the gag, because it gets to a point where people are bullied into silence. You can't say how you feel, then you're labeled transphobic. You can't say that you're offended as a woman, you're labeled as transphobic. It is just like, why can't we just genuinely be in tune with our womanhood? How does the truth translate to transphobia? Good question, Tiggy. I don't know. Now, speaking of the truth, another transgender person may be facing another bit of backlash as well. Flame Monroe, if you recall, Flame Monroe, the comedian who appeared in Tiffany Haddish's comedy show on HBO, actually had some words to say as well. And apparently, he, she, we, because he, she, we says, they don't necessarily care about pronouns. You can call Flame Monroe he, she, or we, as long as the check clears. That's what he said on the Breakfast Club. He, she, we. Well, Flame Monroe has come forward and offered a bit of information about how he is in support. He, she, we, they are in support of Macy Gray. And here is what Flame Monroe had to say about it. Hold on, let me refresh the page.
Good evening, everyone. My name is comedian Flame Monroe. I am a transgender woman or person, however you describe it. And this message is directly for Macy Gray. Macy Gray, I want to tell you out the words of my mouth from my portion of the LGBTQIA plus community that I wholeheartedly support you and thank you for seeing the real world for what it is. I do not believe that you are transphobic or homophobic or any other kind of phobic. I believe that you know science and biology because here are the three things. Gender is a fact, identity is how you feel, and sexuality is your desire. And you are absolutely right because until you have the heart and mind of a woman, I don't believe that you could ever possibly be a biological woman. Trans women are trans women, trans men are trans men, women are women, and men are men. It is as simple as that. There shouldn't be any argument about this because here's good evening, everyone.
Hold on, let me find the full video. I wanna hear the rest of the statement. Hold on a second. Let me see. I said the rest of the video is on TikTok. Let me go to TikTok and find the rest of Flame Monroe's video. Hold on. Flame, you should have put the whole video on here. TikTok. There it is right there. Okay. Let me go right here. Oh, that video 2 minutes long. Hold on. I'm about to watch it.
Private, and this message is directly for Macy Gray. Macy Gray, I want to tell you out the words of my mouth from my portion of the LGBTQIA plus community that I wholeheartedly support you and thank you for seeing the
Oops. How you fast forward it, Lord? How I do that? Oh Lord.
good evening, everyone.
Why is it changing? Hold on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is comedian Flame Monroe. I am a transgender
I'm sorry, y'all.
woman or
I thought
person,
I was
however you
fast
describe
forwarded.
it. And this
Lord,
message is directly for Macy
be
Gray.
patient.
Macy Gray, I want to tell you out the words of my mouth from my portion of the LGBTQIA plus community that I wholeheartedly support you and thank you for seeing the real world for what it is. I do not believe that you are transphobic or homophobic or any other kind of phobic. I believe that you know science and biology because here are the three things. Gender is a fact, identity is how you feel, and sexuality is your desire. And you are absolutely right because until you have the heart and mind of a woman, I don't believe that you could ever possibly be a biological woman. Trans women are trans women, trans men are trans men, women are women, and men are men. It is as simple as that. There shouldn't be any argument about this because here's what I'm saying to you as part of the community, even when they don't want me to be. I'm a trans person who has altered my body. I have breast implants and silicone in my hips. I lived as a woman before I had 3 biological, beautiful children. And I still dress up as a woman when it's time to get on stage and go to work. Macy Gray, my hat goes off to you for standing in your truth, seeing the world for what it is in black and white. And thank you for not being transphobic. And thank you for the respect of saying, I will call you whatever you want to be called out of respect. That is the respect I'm talking about. That is all we all wanted, Macy Gray. I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for saying it out loud and proud. I'm still part of the community. I still identify as a trans woman, but I will not bash a biological woman ever because biological women give life. I learned how to be a girl from watching my mother, my grandmother, my sisters, my aunties, not from watching a boy. Macy Gray, there is no transphobic in you. And as part of the community and as a transgender woman, peace to you, my beautiful sister.
All right, Flame Monroe has said it. Okay, what do y'all think about what Flame Monroe said? I know there's a bunch of the LGBTQ IAX community in here, and some people feel a ways and some people don't. How do you feel? You said Cadero said you don't speak for the community. Cadero, what the community think? I'm trying to figure out what did Flame Monroe say wrong. Listen, I don't speak for all of women either, but I can speak for myself and say that I wholeheartedly agree with Macy Gray because you have transgender people like T.S. Madison and everybody else who disrespect women on the daily, but yet want to walk around and look like women. So how does that work? How does that fall in line? I'm trying to understand. Now, people are talking about what Big Frida said. Big Frida is on College Hill right now on BET Plus, and Big Frida basically had a conversation with Slim Thug, and they were talking about pronouns. Big Frida said that she or he or he is considers themselves a brister when they're with when he's with his sister, he's her brother. When he's with his some of his girlfriends, he's their sister. When he's with his friends in the hood that he grew up with, he's their homeboy. So it just depends on who he's with, however they decide to talk to him. That's how he takes it, how he addressed it. He's their brister, brother, sister. He doesn't, rely on, pronouns to basically tell you who he is. She has often is non-binary. He wears a wig, presents as a man sometimes, presents as a woman sometimes. So there's that. At the end of the day, that was one of the reasons why Stacey Dash left, because Big Frida said, I still have my penis and it's still gonna stay there. And I guess, the same thing with Mr. Manhands, aka T.S. Madison, doesn't mind slinging his penis around, doesn't mind being called a she-male, doesn't mind being called a tranny with a Y, for porn purposes. But in light of the LGBT community, wants, people to forget all of that. Now, Cordero says we are not a monolith. Okay, well, neither are us women. Okay, so in light of us women not being a monolith, you can't say that womanhood is an all encompassing thing. You can't say that just because a person feels like a woman that they are a woman. Like I don't know how that works. Okay, I don't know how that works. I agree. I'm ignorant to the situation. I know there's such a thing as gender dysphoria. I know people feel they're born in the wrong body. I understand. Some people say it's a medical condition. I get it. But at the end of the day, feeling like something doesn't make you so. I feel like I'm a billionaire sometimes. When I go in the store, though, they say you're not. Okay, they say you're not. I'm not. I feel like a billionaire when I go to the bank and I write this $1 billion check. The bank tell me to go home because I'm not that. So I don't understand. Some people want to be a cat. Some black people want to be white. Some white people want to be black. That doesn't make it so. You can't just wake up one day and be something that you are not. Just my humble opinion. Okay. Now I have ranted. I have said what I was gonna say. I know y'all got something to say. This gonna be a little short show because I ain't gonna have y'all cursing me out all night long. But I will take a few calls because I know some of y'all in here got something to say. Now it's daytime now. Y'all ain't got no excuse not to be on camera. So click the link if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me, click the link. I want to know what you feel about this Macy Gray drama, this Macy Gray controversy. Is she transphobic, or is she being set up for failure? That why Piers Morgan had to ask her this of all people, especially during this time that there is so much going on. Let me know. You said the call's about to be a mess. Well, call in, Jay. I want to hear what you have to say about it because I am really in my feelings about this. You said T.S. Madison is not reflective of a whole community. I never said he was, honey. Mr. Manhands clearly is not reflective of the entire community, but because he is in the public, in the spotlight, people who don't understand trans look to T.S. Madison to try to understand it. And clearly, as T.S. Madison is in the public, y'all, the LGBTQIAX community might need to rein him in and tell him that a lot of what he says is disrespectful to women. We don't want to be called fish, okay? We don't. And I understand y'all say this is a part of ballroom culture. This is what we do. We don't want to be called cis. And I understand y'all say it's a scientific term and it's just meant to separate transgender from biological women. But at the end of the day, when we say we don't want to be called a certain things, it's like y'all denounce it and say, well, that's what we're going to call you anyway because it's a part of our culture, or that's what we're going to call you anyway because it's a scientific word. But when we call you a he because we see you as a he, all of a sudden it's disrespect and it's transphobic. Like, how does that work? How is it that we have to grant you respect, okay, but you can't grant us as women that same respect? I'm just asking. Okay, I'm just asking. Now, hey, tattoo ladybug, how you
Well,
doing?
hello there, lady. I'm getting
Hi.
ready to run off at my mouth before I have to pick up one of my clients this evening. But I am so grateful for you coming on early with this particular topic. I'm
Oh,
really getting like so many other people with the just overemphasis on what I'm supposed to be. God made me what I am. He
mm-hmm,
made you what you were, but that was your choice to change yourself.
mm-hmm,
But please stop putting me in this bag is if I'm illiterate, if I'm incompetent, if I don't have enough sense to know what I need to do to take care of my body and my health and my strength. You guys going out here putting on shows, and the shows are funny and they're fantastic and it looks fine for the role, but you are not me. You don't understand what it was like for me to be in labor to have my first child for 3 days in a row, for them to finally decide to say, she's not progressing. We need to do an emergency C-section. You don't know what that felt like for them to cut my major muscles in order for me to be able to give birth to this child. If you could
mm,
do all of those things, then yeah, you could be me. But
mm.
in terms of all of that stuff, you have no idea what we have to go through.
I agree. I agree. But listen, listen. As a woman who hasn't had a child, I can say they still don't know what it's like to be us. They don't know about the cramps. They don't know about the fibroids. They don't know
No,
about the bleeding to death. They don't know about the anemia. They don't.
they even know about the cancer that takes out half of the women in our country because it goes undiagnosed. How many times, especially Black women, we
Mhm.
get misdiagnosed because the doctors don't want to put the emphasis on it. I lost
Right.
her because they didn't treat her properly from cancer, ovarian cancer, because when you Black, they just treat you differently when
Right.
it comes to those female things. So you don't even know what we got to fight in terms of this being created to say that I'm still a part of something, but you just can't make me feel like I'm nothing and you want to give me, girl, I went to fill out a job application and I was blown away. It had on the job application, he, she, her, them, it, or what. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Since when is the actual human resources market now has the job applications with those pronouns?
What do
I
you feel
go on
about the word cis? Do you care about that? The
I
CIS.
do care about that because when I used the term cis back in the day, because I'm a lot older probably than some other folk, I ain't
Mhm.
got no shame to my game. I'm 59 years old, okay?
You look beautiful.
Look, I just turned 59 too, so I'm happy with it.
Well,
Okay,
happy
thank
birthday.
you. When we said cis, we was talking to one another.
You mean SIS is
Yes,
sis, like you my sister. That's
right,
not
right.
sis. But
We
they call us CIS,
no,
cis hetero,
mm,
to designate, okay, you are a woman who was born a woman and you are okay with your being called a woman. You are cis hetero. And they do that to separate cis women from trans women who chose to be women who were born male. So my thing is, as a woman, why do we have to get these additions to our name and our womanhood, these prefixes, and they don't. And like Cordero, I'm call you out, Cordero. Cordero said, now you want to pick and choose when to use scientific terms. Well, transgender people pick and choose when to be called male and female.
mm, mm,
Transgender people pick and choose when to be called men and women, and those are scientific terms as well. So I'm just trying to figure out like this hypocrisy, like what is going on?
I just don't agree with it, Michelle. I'm really, really one of these ones that stand up, and I work with a lot of youth. I work with children, and the thing of it is that when I come around my female youth, okay, the teenage years, they just starting to learn. Well, what does it feel? Why do I go through this? They don't even know half of the emotions that they see, and so now they see this whole nother world coming at them, telling them that they're not worth anything. enough to be recognized as a woman. So then what are you going to have? Now we got all of these young ladies. Everybody now wants to determine that, okay, I think I'm going to be gay now. Okay, you're just going to jump out there and do it, but you don't really understand what's happening because it's being so publicized in your face. Everything you look at, from Netflix to regular television, everybody's got a gay show on, and they're making it the emphasis that this is how it's supposed to be, but that is not how it was supposed to be. We were created differently, and we need to be respected as being created differently. I'm not going to say that I don't have friends that have decided to, that they found their sexuality. That's cool with me. They're the best friends in the world you could have. But please don't try to step on my toes and tell me that I don't know how to be a woman, because you can't experience the things that I experience. And
absolutely.
Macy Gray actually did a phenomenal analysis on it, as well as the other gentleman, the comedian. And I've seen him perform, and he specifically tells you exactly who he is on stage. So he has nothing to hide, and that's fine. Except to you all, but please don't tell me how I need to live.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you, Tattoo Ladybug. Thank you so much for calling in.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, bye bye. Hold on, Cordero, you is trying to read the girls today, honey. What you talk about is funny thing is you biological women don't even like each other. How do you know what we do? We stand in support of each other. Now you telling us, first you say you as a gay man is not a monolith. We as biological women aren't a monolith either. There are some biological women that love other women that are girly girls and some that don't. Just like there are some gays that don't like other gays. I'm trying to figure out where you coming from, Cordero. Okay, please understand us like we have so often tried to understand you guys. We, just like I said yesterday, we as women we embrace the LGBTQ community, but it seems like once y'all got a step above us, now all of a sudden we are lower than, and what we say doesn't matter. It used to be you respected women. Now y'all don't even respect us. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Hi,
Hi,
beautiful over there. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
So I don't disagree with what Macy said. And actually, to be quite honest, I didn't know what sexuality Macy Gray was. So with that being said, for her to say what she said, if you really didn't even know her own sexuality, why would you automatically call her transphobia or whatever? My
Right,
thing
right.
is, at the end of the day, you gonna be who you gonna be. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. And that is my truth, my own truth, and who I am and who I accept who I am. I can't make you not be gay, just like you can't make me not be a woman. And it's facts. If you are transgender, be it male to female, female to male, or however the case may be, the biological terms is facts. You can't change the biological terms of it. But if you decide that you want to be, a transgender female, okay, I don't have no beef with it. That's what you
Right.
want to do. But if I'm going to respect your choice and in your transition, respect the choice that I am who I am as a woman, you can't have a baby. Just like the other callers were saying, like you cannot experience things biologically as a woman. Just like let's be clear. Let's just say hypothetically, somebody die, right? They can determine if that's a male or female by what? The biological, the structure of the bones, not the outer appearance.
The DNA, honey, all of that.
All
Yes,
of
right.
it. And it doesn't mean that we are trying to negate from who you say you are, but at the end of the day, don't negate who we are, because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us. Like it takes two, yes, to bring you forth, but it still take a woman, a womb to develop and incubate you in our womb, and for us to push you out in our woo-ha to bring you forth. So respect it. It's no shade, it's no, there's no iffiness of it all. And then I wish you could bring Cordero on here.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we only gonna respect who we are and we believe who we are. Like we don't have no if the iffiness of what's what. We won't respect you, just respect us.
You're
There's
right.
no transphobia in it. I love you. I love whoever it is who is, because I have family, I have friends, I had also has shared with you, Michelle, and I
Mhm.
respect them and they respect me of who I am. There's no division, no discord amongst us at all. We love each other because who we are to one another and our respect of who we want our love one to another. You said, Kaduro, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you said that us as women don't even agree with each other. That is absolutely true. I don't disagree with you. However, in your, I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your community, y'all don't even agree or respect each other. Y'all still have people that's been in the community way longer than those who have not and have experienced way worse things than y'all have. And they don't care about the pronouns. They just care about the respect and identifying me or who I say I am for me. And that
Mhm.
is it. It's not about them, they, because I get confused. I'm not even gonna lie. I get confused because I was checked and it was a harmless thing. I said, hey girl, because that's how I know them and that's how I see them. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no disrespect. I wasn't being malicious. They was like, don't identify me as a she, I'm a they. I said, well, how in my mind, coming from school, I'm thinking they is plural. So again, it's no mean of disrespect. It's a mean of if you say if you say you transgender, right? If you
Mhm.
say you a transgender, meaning female to male, I'm going to respect what you're telling me. However, it's confusing when you want us to respect you as transgender and then you walk around looking like a female. That is very, to me, hypocritical, even in your own community, if that makes sense.
Or looking like a
Wait a
male.
minute, can I get clarification? So, are you talking about someone who transitions from female to male, but still looking like a female? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not just looking like a female, but still dressing everything like a female. How can you explain that to me? If you
Well,
want me to,
sexuality and gender identity are not the same thing.
you
So
said
just because
sexuality and gender is not the same thing.
sexuality and gender identity is not the same thing. So you can present yourself as um, a female, for instance, like Michelle. Let's just say I just use Michelle as an example. Michelle can, wear what she wants, but not consider herself a woman. She can consider herself non-binary. So that's definitely possible. There are people who transition who don't transition because they're heterosexual. They're still a part of the queer community. There are people who were not identified, who were assigned the gender of female at birth, who have transitioned to men, who are still attracted to men, and so they're gay. Like, gender is fluid. It's not. Is it a lot? It can be a lot, absolutely. But what the issue that I have is that people are truly acting like this is completely new. There's
Nobody's
history
acting like it's
proves.
new. I feel like people are in their feelings because whenever anybody has an opinion or is asked a direct question and they state how they feel, it's like they get attacked. So I don't feel like anybody feels like it's new. I just feel like people are finding their voice, especially in light of the Roe versus Wade and women's rights being taken
Right.
away, all of that. It's like now it's like, okay, the gays getting more rights than women. So how can you sit there and tell me what a woman is or what a woman should be, and our rights as women are being taken away while transgender people are getting more rights? They're getting bills passed. They're getting all these things done. So we
Is
as
that
women
is that is
are
that their
now
fault?
no, but is it our fault that our rights are being taken away and now
Of
we're
course,
sticking up?
it's
So
not
that's
it's
my
not.
point. There's no middle ground here. So basically, me being pro me does not mean I'm anti you. You see what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
like
But
transgender
there's a
people, gay people, they want women to stand in solidarity and in support for them. And yet, when it comes to us, it's you can't talk to us this way. You can't, tell us what a woman is, or you can't, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be called
but your
sis, or you
womanhood
gotta be called
your
bitch,
womanhood
or The disrespect is there.
but your
So to me, it's
womanhood
called
is not
patriarchy.
defined.
I'm sorry.
But
Go ahead.
your womanhood isn't defined by your womb. Your womanhood is not defined by your uterus because
Is
there
not.
are plenty. I mean, there. I mean, I have family. I have women who were born who don't have a uterus because of a lot of different reasons. So is she not a woman? My
She was born
sister,
without a womb.
my
When you say
sister,
Had to remove later.
Cordell,
it had to be taken. It had to be taken away. So my
Well,
sister
that's the
just had to have a
point.
total
Like she still
hysterectomy.
had
So
one.
this. So is she not a woman?
Her
Because she
entire
doesn't have a
DNA
uterus no
is
more.
she's still a woman. Yes, her entire
yes,
DNA is
because she
still a
still
woman.
have ovaries, she still has a cervix or a uterus, depending on if she has a hysterectomy or so, certain things or whatever.
You're
I
still
get,
a woman.
yeah,
So
she's
so
still,
you're.
See, you try to equate, you
I'm
know,
not. No,
people
there are a
having
lot.
surgeries or medical surgeries because of
There are a
problems
lot
with
of
their womb
cisgender
that they had
women.
originally with people who never had one, would never have had one, were born male with penises and sperm and all of that. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not sitting here trying to change the world on it. But in essence, we all got to live here together.
yeah.
And living here together, we are who we are, and you can't say what we are not. Just like, you can't tell us what we see is wrong, or you can't
But
tell us that biology is wrong.
there are cisgender women who are saying that your
Can
definition
can you give me understanding when you say cisgender? Because I've heard that term before, but never got full understanding about it.
you identify with the gender you were assigned at birth.
How are you assigned a gender? How are you
Because
assigned
be,
when you are born?
because
Biologically,
because
you're either male or female, right?
what determines that?
Your sex organs and your DNA,
Okay, not necessarily I'm not even going.
your
I'm not going into
chromosomes. Don't
this.
you have a different, like? Listen, men
But but
have
but so, but there but that's but who is but that's the thing. You're basically
so
saying that
doctors and
because
scientists have all determined what determines a male versus a female, and you're telling me biologically that's not true.
yes,
I don't
genitalia
know.
does
I mean, I
not.
don't know what to say. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say
I
about it.
mean, if we want, if we, if it's interesting that when we want to pick and choose when to believe white man science. We want to believe white
But
man
y'all
science
pick
for
and choose when to believe white
everything.
man science when they telling you that your gender is she, he, they. Like, I mean,
No,
you pick and
because
choose when to
there's
determine
that.
that. So it was white people who
Ooh.
told you that your pronouns weren't right, and y'all said, okay, we going along with the white gays because they calling themselves gay and non-binary and pansexual. So I mean, how can you
So
tell us that we can't listen to white doctors, but y'all can listen to the white gays?
you can listen to whoever you choose to. I honestly don't care. I just want people to just understand that when you are being transphobic, you're being transphobic. When you
Well, what is
are there's a
transphobic? Can
diff.
you determine? Can you give me a description? What is transphobic?
So let me give an example of
Because I'm not
transphobic.
scared of trans
You
people. I don't
that's
have a
not the full
phobia.
that's not the full definition. And I need us to start reading the full definition of phobia. It's not just about a fear, it's also about denying access, and it's also about denying I'm not gonna look it up, but there's more to the definition of the phobia, the transphobia, the fat phobia, the biphobia, the queer phobia. That there's more
What
to the
about
definition.
heterophobia? What about heterophobia?
There's no such thing as
Why is
heterophobia
there no such thing as heterophobia, but
Yeah.
there's such thing as
because
biphobia,
because
transphobia? Like,
because 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 there's no definition to heterophobia because of what it's based on. It all stems from queer phobia. I mean, do you not understand? Like Sierra was called a man when Sierra came out. That's transphobic because people assume that women are all supposed to look one way, and that's not
I was
true.
called a man. T.S. Madison, who claims to be transgender, called me a man. So he was
Trans
transphobic to
people,
me.
yes, trans people have internalized transphobia. I have internalized transphobia.
Okay.
I have it. We all have it. We all black people. We are anti-black. We have all of these things within community. Black people, we all have this. No, but queer people ain't perfect. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of queer people I don't like. I don't get along with.
Okay.
I don't approve of T.S. Madison talking to you that way. I don't approve of that at all. It's trash.
Okay.
And I've left her comments saying that it's trash.
Okay.
But my thing is, when it happens within community, when one person in the community or a couple of people in the community that have these egregious behaviors, then it's a broad stroke painted across the community. And I don't think that that's fair.
But I don't. It's the same thing with women, though. I don't think it's fair
Yes,
for us to be
yes.
labeled transphobic just for having the idea that being a woman is more than wearing a dress and wearing wigs.
But that's not so.
So
So
that
that
means we
there is
transphobic.
no. I don't think that that's transphobic because I think that that's lack of understanding of the trans experience. The trans experience goes way beyond the presenting themselves as a woman because a lot of trans people do not go through the medical surgery.
Well, the
A lot
woman
of
experience goes well beyond getting our hair done and getting our makeup done.
absolutely,
But
absolutely,
but they don't act like that's it. Or the woman experience goes well beyond our body parts. The woman's experience
absolutely.
goes well
Trans
beyond
people,
us being called fish. Oh,
trans
you know what I'm
people.
saying?
Now
There's
listen, now Michelle, you gonna have to you know it depends on what people who you hang around the whole fish town. That's
Okay, so
not
let
something
me
that
ask you, let me interject,
everybody.
Cordell. Cordell, let me interject right quick. Michelle,
Hmm.
you mentioned fish quite a few times because I asked the question because I was like, I was around some of my friends and one particular person was like, "Oh, she fish," and I was like, I turned to I turned to my friend like my transgender friend like, "What's she saying? I stink? What's she saying?" And she's like, "Oh no, 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 no. She's just saying like you cute, like you look good." I said,
I'm
"Well,
calling
why
you
would they
real fish.
relate fish to looking good and cute?"
Oh, we
You
got
know?
real fish in the building. We got real fish as opposed to fake
But
fish.
that's a my thing is that's a ballroom term and that has been around since the 80s and that's not going
But we supposed
anywhere.
to be okay with it.
You don't have to be okay with it, but then you also don't have to be around it. Don't go around it.
But okay, well, it's the same thing with them. They were like, you have to call us her or they or whatever. You don't have to be
It's not
around
the
us then.
it's not the same thing. I mean, it's a term of endearment, and if y'all
Okay.
really feel
Fish
it's
is not
really
a
a
term of
term.
endearment.
It isn't like when we say that fish is beat, that means you look good, girl. Girl,
But
God did
that's
you
when you're
good.
talking
You
about
look
each other.
good.
That's when you're talking about each other. When a
No, no,
gay
no, no, no,
man
no.
but when
We
they
say
talk
that.
about women, they be like fish in the building. Look at fish. Our fish thinks she cute. Our fish, it's like that's not. But when you're talking about a real woman, that's not a compliment to me as a woman.
Or it's not what
It's
you say,
I
a
get
term
it.
of
Just saying
endearment
it's a ballroom term, and it's
Exactly.
just amongst each
if you're not
Just
other.
like
used to that
just
terminology.
like a
No, I'm used
just
to it.
like a
That's the point. I'm
No,
used to
I'm
it.
not.
But I'm saying is used towards women as both derogatory and complimentary. So it's like, how can you come to us with a term that you try to use it as a compliment, but then you use it derogatorily too towards women as well? You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The same persons or people will use it both ways towards women, but towards their group, it's supposed to be a compliment.
but the same way y'all call each other bitches and there's people who don't like it but you
Oh
still
my
do
God.
it.
Why is it that you always try to turn it on?
No, because it's the same. My thing is, if we're gonna call out everything. Like it's like if we there are words that we use with each other as Black people that people don't like, that people still choose to use regardless because they don't care how they feel. There are people who don't want to be called the N word, and people still gonna say, "I'm gonna call you that." I mean, like we can go down the list of how the terms that we use. So if it's only a problem when a trans person uses it or when a person in community says these things, then that's something to have a conversation about. But if we're going to go across the board and talk about all the things that Black people don't want to be called, then we can have that conversation. But it seems like it's only made an issue when it's someone of the community using it.
Okay, let me
No, we
interject
got
on
to
here
move
too.
on, Lisa. We got to move on. I got some more people in the back, and we've been
Oh,
on
I'm
I'm
here
sorry.
sorry.
for
I'm
so long.
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. It's okay. It's okay. Cordero, was there anything else you want to add?
First of all, hey Michelle, I didn't get you to
Hey,
say hi.
girl. How you
And,
doing?
and people in the comment, I love Michelle.
We love
I
each other.
love
Listen, we can
hers.
agree to
We love
disagree.
you too,
However
We
Cordell.
can
it is.
agree to disagree. I
I
do
love
think
anybody.
I will say, not I love everybody. I love Michelle. Okay, and I
Thank
love her channel.
I love you more.
What I will say is that I do think that there are people in the community that are very sensitive. I will say I do think that there are people in the community that, if you are non-binary, you do have to unfortunately constantly explain the they them pronouns. I am someone who I accept the fact that I'm a man, but I don't like being called a woman all the time. I get mistaken for a woman all the time, and I don't like it. But then I don't like sometimes being called a man because of the stigma of what a man is supposed to be. They automatically think a man is supposed to be a supporter or the macho type of person, and I'm feminine presenting. I'm not so hardcore, and they expect me to be that hardcore, and I'm not. So that's why I don't really care about male being called a man, but I accept that we live in a world where people are going to call you how they see you instead of just coming up to you and asking you what are your pronouns. I think it's going to take a long time before we get there as a country where people just start asking everyone what are your pronouns instead of just assuming. So I never said Michelle was
No, no,
transphobic.
no. He said he knows
Oh,
that.
okay, okay. I just want to make sure I never said
No,
Michelle was
that's
transphobic. That whole thing that Michelle got going on with T.S. Madison, it got nothing to do with me. That's a beef. I don't agree with what T.S. Madison said to Michelle. So with them, it's up and it's stuck, and they ain't got nothing to do with me. But that's really what I wanted to say. I do think that I don't. I don't like Flame Monroe. I don't agree with Flame Monroe on a lot of things Monroe has said. I think that a lot of spaces allows Flame Monroe to speak because Flame Monroe supports their opinions and views, and I think that they allow Flame Monroe to speak, and then people just say, "Oh, well, Flame Monroe said it, so that means that it's valid." We all don't think the same. We all don't agree the same, and we never will on the topics of queer identity and all those things. So I just say, don't paint us all with a broad stroke.
I
Some
don't.
of
I don't. I don't. But at the
I
I
same,
don't
wasn't talking
either.
to you, Michelle. I wasn't talking to you,
okay,
Michelle. I was just talking in general
yeah.
to anyone that's listening. Like, don't paint us all with a broad stroke. Ask one, two, three more people. Before just assuming the one means that that's how everyone thinks. Because I promise you, half of us we don't agree with anything. And yes, all I want to say.
Well, I appreciate you, Daryl. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
You're
Cordell, for
welcome.
clearing that
Let
up.
let me go
and
back to
thank
acting
you,
like I'm
Lisa. I
doing some
appreciate you
work.
as well.
All right.
Thank y'all. All right. Hold on. Mel, you gonna get on camera or not? You been waiting back there. Get on camera. How you gonna turn the camera off?
I don't. Oh, wait, hold on. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
I'm good. Turn your camera on.
I don't want to put the camera on. I like the avatar better. Can,
No.
no, I can't even.
I asked y'all to be on
Oh my
camera.
God, that was close. That was so too close. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, how you
I
doing,
have my
LR?
camera on. I wanted to have my avatar back on too. I like my little avatar. How are you
I
today?
like you too. Good. How you doing today?
I am confused.
You are
I'm so
confusion.
freaking confused. So I
What?
went to this thing called a school when I was young.
In
And in school, they taught this subject called science. And
Mhm.
in science, they even let us dissect things to show us the difference between what a male is and a female is. They let us dissect it. And then in science, they said that there were these things called molecules and cells and plasma and all kind of stuff that makes up what we live in as a body. Did you know that? We live in a
I
body.
did.
And
I
that
took
the
biology.
bodies, when they come out of what women only have, which is a womb and a uterus, was the only way these bodies can even get to this place called, did you know what we live on is called Earth? Because that was in the class too. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
So I'm just so confused why a woman who was born from another woman's womb, who in fact has a womb, boobs, has had a period, has thought like a woman, has lived an experience on a molecular level as a woman, would somehow be in a pot of grease for saying what women are. I'm not sure what planet I got off on. I'm not. And I also in school that thing
Earth
that
is ghetto.
yeah, Earth is ghetto, but I don't want to leave. It's cool here. I'm not sure
Okay.
what's happening on the other places. But they also had this thing in school called English.
Uh-huh.
And in English, we learned words.
Ooh.
And words, the definitions of words, and things like that. And that has been how people communicate since the beginning of time, Michelle.
Mm,
And the words have definitions. Did you know that?
I did.
Definitions is the meaning of a word. And then there's all different kinds of stuff. You can go to the etymology, the root meaning, the Latin, all this other stuff. But the last caller made me look up phobia, for instance.
Okay.
Did you realize that phobia is an actual medical condition that you could take pills for? And it has to last more than 6 months. And it's a form of anxiety when you have excessive fear because of a something or a situation.
Uh-huh.
Irrational fear.
An irrational fear, exactly.
Yes. So I'm not sure how what Macy Gray said sounded like she was in fear of people who go to surgeries and scheduled appointments to get what she has. And she just pointed that out. Like, I'm not sure. I'm so confused, Michelle. And oh my God. And then there was remember that parable that was called The Emperor Had No Clothes? Remember?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
when I got to the moral of that story, to me, in my tiny human mind, the moral of the story was don't get bamboozled by some charlatans coming to you telling you that, oh, the thread is so beautiful.
The thread is so fine that people can't see it.
Yeah.
It's more expensive than they can ever afford. So put on this invisible cloak.
Yeah. So I thought the moral of the story was to teach the masses. Because did you know that's what parables do? They teach the masses little things so that they can figure it out later. And they can be like, oh, that's what it was talking about. So this whole thing is sounding very emperor has no clothes on. And I'm not from this kingdom. So all I see is a butt naked little man running up and down the street. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't even mean to offend anybody, but I probably am because since I left school decades ago, they've been mixing up these words and meanings and acting like molecular cell level shit is out the window and whatever we think we are. And I'm with that. But I think I'm a millionaire.
I think I'm a billionaire. I'm going to the bank tomorrow, honey. I'm trying to cash this check, see if they give me all my cash so I can put it under my mattress.
Can somebody help me? Can anybody help me?
Oh,
I'm gonna try.
Okay, Jessica Rabbit, what you got to say?
First of all, hey, Michelle.
Hey, I miss y'all. I ain't see y'all in a minute. Where y'all been?
Ty, I told you I've been. I'm still in that old school.
I understand.
So I catch you when
famous,
I can.
Don't forget about me now.
Oh, I ain't. I see you been coming up in the day now.
I'm trying. So I won't be up all night.
Versus the night time.
Mm-hmm. So I'm ready for you. So what do you think about all of this confusion?
That's just what it is. It's straight up confusion. And I think what has happened, because see, this is what I don't like about our community, especially the men in our community. The men in our community, whether they gay or heterosexual, cry, whine, and complain about women, Black women, not supporting them every time you turn around. Mm-hmm. When it comes to gay men, they love to say the Black community don't support us. Black women have been supporting y'all and having y'all back all this time. Even when you was little and some of the men might have ridiculed you in the community, the women had said, you leave that boy alone. Y'all know how he is by this time. Leave him alone. We have always defended. and we have always protected, even though the men were supposed to be doing that for us in our community. Being that that has not happened, we have failed to protect ourselves while we were busy protecting the men. And now we find ourselves in a situation where we are about to be erased. See, while it's easy for men who want to identify as women, they can use their privilege as being in that then they can use that privilege. I had a call coming in. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Then they can use that privilege. All right, I declined it. Not only do they get to use that privilege from being from that community, they get to use that privilege of being a man. Because at the end of the day, no matter however they identify, they still have certain things. They still have certain privileges because they are men. And they try.
Damn it, Jessica.
They try to act like. Stay blowing me up. Hold on. They try
Put your
to act
phone
like
on
that
do
they
not
don't see
disturb,
that.
girl.
How do I do that? Hold on.
Swipe down and do the do
Hold
not
on.
D&D.
Okay,
It's
hold
still
on.
male privilege. Exactly.
on.
That's what I be trying to say. And you know, sometimes it's hard for me to get my words out, child, but I be trying to say that as well. It's patriarchy. At the end of the day, they were still born male. They are still men. But just because they choose to be women in this stage of life, whatever the case may be, they still get the rights and privileges that they were born as. They were indoctrinated as men. So they still have that male privilege, even though they are now women. And then they try to enforce that on
Or
biological
text me real quick.
women.
That is true. Like when Caitlyn Jenner was in that interview space with Amanda Seales, and he was totally still kicked back like he was a white dude, but he had on a dress and freaking, you know, he was the transition now. But he was talking to her from a white male perspective, and she totally had to check him on that and let him know that, look, you like this now, but you still think like that.
Exactly. Caitlyn Jenner still thinks like a white Republican male. You know? So.
And it's sad that a woman cannot even, it's sad that a woman can't even sit and say, I'm a woman and I'm proud to be a woman without being called transphobic. It's sad that a woman cannot say there is a difference between a trans woman and a woman. There is a difference. And I don't like how they want to try to blur the lines because you don't want to be seen as different so that you can attract whatever if your sexual preference is heterosexual men, because you want to attract that, you don't want to say I'm a trans woman. But the last time I checked, they have a whole month called Pride, right?
Yeah.
Pride supposed to be proud of who you are, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't they be proud that they are a trans woman? Stop trying to come and say that you are a woman because you are not. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but that's just what it is. You are a trans woman. And there is a difference.
Look, we got a man on the line.
I'm surprised. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Gifted Ali? Where you been?
What's up, Michelle?
Everybody coming out the woodworks when I come over here today.
Yes.
You don't be pulling me out. You don't be bringing me up when I be trying to come up. What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling?
How you doing, Gifted Ali? You want to give us a male perspective of this situation?
I know that's why I was in the comments like, man, you gonna let me up here so I can give a different similar perspective, but a different perspective.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I can talk now? I'm good?
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right, check this out. So I heard y'all all say a lot of things when it comes to confusion. I've seen it in the comments. I've heard y'all say it up here on the panel, everything. We all been to school, like Miss Curves up there said, and we all know confusion is only something that you haven't sat down all the way to listen to it all and understand it all. And when it comes to identity, when it comes to identity, it's just what they identify. When I see a trans man or a trans woman, I don't look at them as a woman or a man. I look at them as a trans man and as a trans woman. You get what I'm saying? It's just identity. I mean, white people feel like, you know, white people are the superior. So are we transhuman? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not really human. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, our identity, we have to learn how to respect people's identity. I don't give a fuck if I want to be a frog this week. Say ribbit when you see me.
But we
all right?
do respect
Say
their
ribbit when you see me.
identity.
Ribbit.
Don't we?
Ribbit.
No, I mean, listen, it's levels to understand this shit, Michelle. And you know,
Okay.
I seen a couple people try to call you out. I don't think that you're transphobic. I just think that you haven't really allowed yourself to understand everybody. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Michelle, because you know I
I'm
fuck with you.
listening.
But let me
I'm
just say this,
listening.
y'all.
I
I'm from
surrender.
Chicago. Y'all heard me say this before. And I had never, to my knowledge, met a trans before. I moved to California, was working. I'll make the story quick. I was working with a guy. I thought he was just a feminine guy. I thought he was just a feminine dude, but he was cool as hell. And come to find out, one day when he felt comfortable enough, we all smoking weed in the parking lot, he pulls his shirt up. And you can see where his breast used to be, the 2 scars. So he was opening up to me. And I swear that was the first time I had any knowledge. And I was just sitting there like, wow. And he was like, do you feel any way different? I was like, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad that you've been cutting at your wrist and everything because society told you that you shouldn't be who you is. But back to what I was saying when it comes to identity, though, I identify, when I look at him, he identifies as a male, as a trans man. And I respected him as that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about Christine.
And I'm not trying to be facetious, but the difference being trans men do not try to denounce you as a man. Trans
And
men
they ain't coming in men's spaces trying to take
Yeah.
over either. Let's not
with
do
us,
that.
So let me tell y'all
They
something.
not
with
trying
us,
to
we
run.
get it from the trans men who were born women. They're out to change maxi pads to not even say women anymore because they're trans men, but they still get periods. We get it from the trans women who are basically, you know, were born male and, you know, now want to be women. We get it from their end because they mad at us because some people feel uncomfortable with them in the bathroom or whatever the case may be. I don't mind. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's like we as women, we get the brunt of everything from everybody. Y'all as men, all of y'all, everybody wants to be a man because men have the privilege.
Hold on, Michelle, don't do that. See, you just reminded me of something I came up here to say. Y'all talking about some damn male privilege. Let me tell y'all something about female privilege, okay? Because we talk about Karens, and how they'll call the police and get you locked up and shit. Women do that shit too to men. Y'all will hit on a man, do all this shit, and then they call the police. He put his hand. That's a female privilege. We going to jail. We getting our ass locked the fuck up. Y'all have privileges too. Everybody got some type of privilege. You get what I'm saying? Whether it be racial privilege, gender, we all got privilege.
Yeah, I got
some type of privilege.
Y'all black men really
I'm
need to
so
stop.
I'm so confused.
Everybody do have some type of privilege, for real shit.
Y'all black men
It's some
gotta
type of
stop.
level
Y'all
of privilege.
know the way the law works. Y'all know the way the law works. Ain't nobody locking you up because nobody said, "Oh, he hit me." When them police show up and they see bruises on somebody, one or both of y'all is going to jail. If me and you get in a fight and you got scratches on you and I got scratches on me, when the police come, we're both going to jail, honey. Y'all need to stop that.
That's some new shit.
Come on.
That's some new shit. Niggas was going their ass to jail if a woman just say.
We as black women, we don't have the same privileges as Karens. We can't cry like a white woman and get the same. When they come to our house, if we call the police on y'all, they locking both our ass up.
That is some new shit, but that ain't how it used to be.
And to keep it all the way real, I called the police one time on somebody. They was in my house breaking dishes, doing all kind of stuff. Called the police
and locked your ass up.
No, police said, that's community property. I say, ain't nobody married up in here. Oh, well, that's civil. And they left.
Yeah, it's a civil case, civil situation.
Yeah, so no, ain't nobody getting locked up and going no jail. Most of the time when them men be finding themselves in jail on DV charges is because evidence was there. And they want to tell y'all when they get out, man, I ain't do nothing. She said I hit her, I ain't even hit her. And it's lies. They lying. The police got
okay, so that's your experience. So my experience, I've seen it. So this is a big world, and I like to tell people you got to travel this world to be able to have any type of level of expertise on people. Period, because that's your experience, and I'm going to respect that. However, my motherfucking daddy, my and my mama was arguing at a damn what do you call them, U-Haul storage place. arguing over a damn TV. So my daddy was like, no, you ain't getting this TV. This is the midst of them breaking up. You ain't getting this TV. I want this. I want that. And he threw the damn TV down. I was there. My mama called the police and was like, he put his hands on me, got his ass locked up. You understand what I'm saying? Did not touch her. No witness, no camera. Like things are different now, but you know what I'm saying? This is back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, they did used to. There's levels of privileges for everybody, y'all.
We're talking
I get
about,
that we all want all the privilege.
Listen,
We all
we're
want all the
talking
privilege.
about transgender people being upset with Macy Gray for saying that surgery does not make you a woman.
It makes
And
you a
on a
trans woman.
related note, surgery
It makes you a
doesn't make
trans
that
woman.
person
woman.
a
It doesn't
man.
make you a woman.
It makes you a
They're
trans
still
woman.
a woman. They're still female, even though they got their breasts cut off. They're still female.
So y'all do know it's people born with both parts, right?
Hermaphrodites, yes. A hermaphrodite is a human that's born with.
Okay, here we go. And do you
So
understand?
a hermaphrodite, how would you ask them to identify? Do they have a right to choose one
We're
of
not
those
talking
identities?
about hermaphrodites. We're not talking about hermaphrodites. We're not talking about hermaphrodites.
And even still, one thing is more dominant than the other.
Yes,
And people like to try to have those conversations, but in order to have that conversation, you really have to understand science and biology and what is happening with that person. If you want to talk about hermaphrodites, we're talking about a genetic defect. This is what we start. We're not talking right. You're talking about birth defects, things of that nature. We're talking about people who were born.
So here's another
with
thing.
no defect.
So when we all get our research in there, here's another thing about that too. So in order to get a gender reassignment surgery, they have to get on different type of hormone pills. Now you're not on hormones just because you're bored. You're getting on hormones because in order to get this transition, we need you to have a certain level of estrogen and vice versa for testosterone.
Can
Here's
we
the
talk
fact.
about this for a second?
Here's
There
the
are
fact.
women who are born women whose hormones are out of
I was
whack.
about to
Women
tell
go
you
through
that. So listen,
menopause.
you got people.
But
You got people
hormones
who are
don't
born.
change your genetics. Hormone doesn't change your DNA. At the end
Y'all
of the
bringing up
day,
hormone and science of it. I'm just responding to
You
the science
said
of it. The
cell, I
science
said
of it is
cell
the
molecule.
science of it is women who have more, they got testosterone, levels of testosterone. A lot of times you see them getting little peach fuzz and beard. They are also more of the stronger type of women, and guys who got a higher level of estrogen inside of them are actually more feminine and everything. So we go into the science of it all. I do believe, and you know, frogs, like I said, frogs, they are animals that can change sex. Seahorses and shit, like y'all, we just got to be more open to
But those
understanding how a
animals
person
don't go on
feels.
TV and tell a frog doesn't go on TV and tell a chicken that it turned into that I'm the blueprint for chickens. Ribbit. They don't do that. But what we're talking about is humans that go and reassign themselves and then get mad at the person that they copy and talking about I'm better than you and saying all this stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
foul.
like,
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's definitely foul.
are the sensitive ones for being like, no, I'm a woman. And then they're like, oh, well, you're just too sensitive. No, I'm a woman. Well, you're just too sensitive. It sounds like they're actually more sensitive than we are if you get mad when what you're copying tells you that you're a copy. I'm not sure what the problem is. Why can't I say that? There's a First Amendment thing. Did I tell you guys about the First Amendment?
What we need to do, what women, and I'm finna go here, but what us women need to do, especially since Roe versus Wade and all this, let's just close up our wombs and see how many trans people will be born. Let's see how many men.
How many gay men will be born?
Up our wombs.
I'm talking
How
about
many people gonna
You
be
will
here?
stop having babies. How
be
many
here
of you
when
gay
women
men
say-
will be here? How many transgenders will be here? Period. How many people will be here when women stop
Yeah,
having
I mean,
babies?
you're right. You're right.
And
It
see what
does,
y'all
you know,
gonna do.
procreation is how we all got here. I
So now
definitely
we're
100%
the
agree.
point being is we get to start being regulated as just birthers or just menstruators and all of that, and we are so much more than that. And so
with ovaries,
an important aspect to society, but at the same time, being that that's an important aspect to society, why are we so disrespected and acting like we're not, respected for our opinions and our values about being a woman?
And for bringing you here to be so ungrateful.
Absolutely,
Yes, and
absolutely,
bringing you here to have these,
absolutely. I agree. I agree with
mean,
everything you're saying.
you
I
got a
agree with
woman
everything you're
that's you
saying.
got a
I'm
woman
just
that's
speaking on terms of, if y'all don't mind, just identity, y'all.
No, I get
I just
it. I
allow
get
people to
it.
just.
I get
Exactly. Listen, I already said people can be identified however they want to identify. And I always say this, just because I'm pro me does not mean I'm anti you. You can do whatever you want to do, but here's the thing, don't tell me what I am. Don't call me a sis. Don't call me fish. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell me what a woman is when that's what I am.
and don't get mad if I say I'm a real woman.
Yeah,
Okay?
please don't get mere panties in a bunch.
Don't
And
don't
please
don't get
don't
upset.
ever fix your mouth to tell me that you're the blueprint for something that God did.
We have
Listen, I
somebody.
be like, I should have never clicked this.
No, I
have a
appreciated his
woman.
identity comment.
We are women. Hear us roar.
Yes. We got a woman that's been elected to the Supreme Court, and she couldn't even sit to say what a woman was. She couldn't stand firm and say, I am a woman. Women are this and that. This is what people who are born with uteruses, those are women. That's who I define as a woman. I'm a woman. She couldn't even say, well, I'm a woman. She couldn't even say that. We are
Because
living in a
who's
world
gonna
where
do
women
this?
cannot even say that they are women and be proud without somebody coming in behind us saying, oh, and we women too.
You
You're
can't call
transphobic.
yourself a real
You're
woman. That's
transphobic.
disrespectful. But wait a minute. We have to respect your pronouns and respect who you say you are. But I can't say
I
I'm a
see what
real
you're saying.
woman.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
Respect my identity as well. That's all.
that's my identity.
Right.
That's how I was
It's
born.
not
That's
As
how
a
just
I'm
real
proud
woman,
of it.
your
But
identity is to be a real woman.
with you as trans men don't do that to y'all because they respect y'all as men.
Mm-hmm.
They sure do.
We don't get that respect.
They
There's
ain't.
no way you as a man
Mm.
can go out there and say, I'm a real man. And ain't no trans person go
They're
say,
not gonna
you
say
can't call
nothing.
yourself a real man.
Not a word.
They don't do that to y'all.
They not trying to infiltrate the men's swim team. They not trying to infiltrate the men's track and field. They
The
not all
NBA and
down.
the NFL.
Yeah, they ain't
Exactly.
all down at the NBA and the NFL workouts talking about let me in.
And
Cause
as
I
soon as
got
we
X
say
amount
it,
of
it's
testosterone.
discrimination and it's transphobic.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
want to compete against transgender men in sports, but that's transphobic. This
Yeah.
person has taken hormones. They're no longer men. They're still men. They're still born male.
And
Right.
So they
they
still have advantages over us as females, period. So it's
Well,
like, why
again,
can't we? Okay, I'm tired of
then it's
arguing.
still practice,
No,
though.
you're not arguing. Wait. You're
No,
not
no, no, no.
arguing.
I'm not arguing, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
But
because
when
I
we
ain't
It's
arguing
like
with
I
your
just be
ass. I
feeling
cut
like
you out.
it's
Listen,
a
I'm just trying to
battle
say,
that's not going to be won overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like we
and
can
it
be
ain't.
speaking
That's what I
on
was about to say. It's gonna take time, y'all. We all gonna learn and grow along with each other. Right now, everything, a lot of this shit is new as hell. It's new as hell to a lot of us. So as we grow, as your family and your friends are of these communities, you have conversations. You know what I'm saying? I think we all just gonna grow. Like I said, I never had that experience until I met somebody like that. And although, like you said, he's a female that transitioned to a male. That's probably different. So I don't know the other ones, the guys that transition to girls. I don't really have that experience. You know what I'm saying? But so it could be totally different. And I don't think that we have those type of problems. Like if a trans man coming to the barbershop, we don't really, us guys, we don't look at him no different. He just coming to get his hair cut. We know it used to be a female, but we don't really
right.
talk about that.
And they're not imposing and saying, y'all, I'm a man and y'all better, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing all of that.
and
But
I look better than you. I'm more of a woman than you are. It's always and then people try to act like we're in competition. We're not in competition.
we're not.
Yes, we're not in a competition.
We're
So
not.
anyway, I appreciate all of y'all for participating in the panel and didn't even know y'all was gonna do it. I just threw y'all up here. I appreciate y'all.
You know, one thing you did was you
Yeah, I
put
just
the
came in
right.
from grocery shopping. I seen you was up here. I wanted to talk about the Macy Gray topic, so I said, let me hop up here and say what's up and put a smile on y'all face real quick, argue a
Thank
little bit.
you, Ali. We miss you. You need to come on more often.
I might
You
do
ain't
that.
gonna miss me.
Today, Michelle. I'm really
I
sorry.
miss you too. Jessica, I told y'all that earlier. And LIGA is always around. I appreciate you. We're gonna do our small business Saturday again soon. But you can't
Now she
piss
said you
Macy
ain't say you
now,
miss
so
her.
you
I'm
nah, you
dead.
can come through. You can come through. I want to get some newbies in there.
Oh
So
no,
Now,
I'll still come in
I
there.
ain't y'all, and I wasn't trying to offend anyone in
Yeah,
the
please don't
chat.
cancel me.
Cordero, we still love you. Nobody's trying to offend anybody, but people have to understand if
but that's
you
my point. I don't feel like why is it we always gotta apologize
Oh
for
yeah, I'm not
how
giving no
we
damn
feel?
disclaimer. I'm
You
not
know what
giving
I'm
no
saying?
disclaimer. You get to take it
Don't
how
give
you
a
want to take it.
disclaimer. If you offended
Yeah,
somebody, you offended
I ain't
somebody.
apologizing for
It
shit.
is what it is.
yeah.
Like I'm the same way though. I'm the same way. I don't be one to, it's like walking on eggshells. But at
Right.
the end of the day, it's like sometimes we gotta express ourselves and let people know, how we feel. And this is no disrespect to anybody. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I
how we
agree.
feel.
That
I
part.
agree.
Well, I appreciate all of you for participating.
Thank
Chad, do
you.
you know they was blowing me up about coming to get some peach cobbler, Michelle? That's what all the phone call was about.
So you
Hey,
been
wait.
Hurry,
Somebody
hurry up
said,
and go get it before it's all gone.
That's what the problem was. You better come now.
hey,
Okay.
but one of the trolls, Michelle, one of your trolls said he must be in a relationship with a transgender. I think that's kind of funny though. I'm just trying to be open and understand everybody. So I think it's crazy that we say shit like that to each other when we're trying to understand each other. That's all. But no,
Well,
I'm
don't
not in a
don't say
relationship with no goddamn
comments. I
trans.
just clicking on comments and seeing what they say. But don't listen. It is what it is. I
All right.
appreciate you, Gifted Ali. Y'all come back,
Oh yeah,
okay?
I love you. I'm finna go roll my blunt. I'm out of
fine?
here.
All right.
I'm going to the
Bye,
chat.
Michelle.
All right, bye, y'all. I'm gonna take these last couple of calls, okay? I'm about to go. Okay, I didn't mean to stay on for no couple of hours this afternoon. Hancy, where you at, honey? How you doing? You on mute? Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, it's been a while since I called in. It's nice
It
to see you.
has, it has. You looking good over there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, you're always looking good to yourself. So,
Thank
but I
you.
had to call in. You're welcome. I had to call in because, I was just like, the stuff that I was hearing was crazy in terms of defense to what's going on. Like, I just feel like at the end of the day, like, you can't tell somebody what they see out of their own eyes. And that's they say it's going to be like a battle and we're going to grow. I don't feel like I'm going to grow because I'm always going to see what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see a trans person and they have a 5 o'clock shadow, I'm going to be like, oh, I think that's a man. And it's unrealistic to sit here and pretend like you're not going to say that. If I see a trans person and I don't notice that it's a man, then hey, I probably won't say that. But the point is, if you look like a man, I'm probably the thought, I might not say it because I don't care to say it, but the thought is going to run through my brain probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
And
there's nothing wrong with respecting people, for what they want to identify as. If they tell you, I'm a her, or
yeah,
the
yeah,
trans
yeah.
her,
I
you know.
respect that, but at the same way, I still feel like it is trying to change my morals. If I want to stick with a man's a man. I should have that right to stick with that. And just what I feel like. I feel like you create your own world, right? So if I
Right,
want to think of myself that way, it should not matter what anybody else think. You shouldn't be
right,
looking for verification from the public, right?
right, and
As long as
that's
you
the problem. The forcing it on everybody else. Like if I want to twirl around and say I'm a duck, whatever the case
right.
may be, then okay, yeah, you're a duck. But other people outside looking at you don't have to necessarily agree that you a duck, right?
Right, and it shouldn't bother you. I think that I'm whatever I think I am, and all of my friends don't agree with that. Everybody, it's just like anything else. I don't think we should put extra emphasis on this specific topic because, somebody might think they're successful. I might not think you're successful based on where we at. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that this is treated any differently? You
Right.
know? And I also want to say like women goes through menopause. Women go through a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? And they're way more emotional creatures. They're the caring ones, and that's a lot more energy that goes into that. Men, we have our place in society too, but we can't just act like women don't put their life on the line when they're having a baby to
Mhm.
populate this world. You know what I'm saying? So I just refuse to act like somebody else is a woman when they're not, because it's kind of eliminating all the stuff that y'all put yourself through to keep, you know, the population here pretty much to keep us here and to keep this world moving, So
Right.
that's
Y'all
just how
wouldn't
I
be
feel.
without some woman somewhere. Y'all wouldn't be here. Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna hold you long, so I already know you had a long day already here. But yeah, that's just pretty much how I feel about it, and I don't think nobody should be offended. I have no problems with nobody. Like I said, you create your own reality. You don't have to go by what the public tells you. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much all I
Well,
have
I
to say.
appreciate you, Hancy. Thank you for calling.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll be calling in more often.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right then.
Bye. I see some other people back in the back. They're not even on screen, honey. I said camera ready. Okay, it's daylight outside. Y'all don't have to be under the cover of Avatar tonight. I will be back probably later on tonight. Maybe I didn't even do a thumbnail for this video because I was just gonna pre-record it. But since it's here, y'all go ahead and watch it. We talked about Macy Gray and her allegedly transphobic comments and how she's been facing a lot of backlash from it. We heard from she had a response to it, and we also heard from Flame Monroe, comedian Flame Monroe, who agreed with a lot of what Macy Gray said. One of the things that specifically that she said was that surgery does not make you a woman, and that sparked our panel debate today. Shout out to everybody who called in. I appreciate the conversation and the panel. Listen, I don't want listen. I give a disclaimer. I told people don't give one, but to all the people I offended, come back later on so I can offend you some more. Okay, come back so I can offend you some more. Go ahead and like this video, please, and don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Also, I have a Patreon.com. iamATLien. We having game night this week. I ain't gonna tell y'all what day because I don't know yet. But we also doing Small Business Saturday on Patreon, where I allow some of my Patreon members who are small business owners to come and pitch and sell to our Patreon members. So I appreciate all of you. That's my way of giving back. I also appreciate my mod. Shout out to Princess AG, Jazabelle, and C. Patterson. Shout out to all of the channel members. You see the people in the green. I forgot to shout y'all out because it was early in the day. Y'all know I ain't used to being up this early. Okay. And also shout out to my Patreon members. And most of all, shout out to the subscribers because y'all don't have to pay a thing. Okay. Y'all don't have to pay nothing. And I appreciate y'all. And please like this video. Please. Please, I'm begging you because that's all I live for is likes, honey. All I live for is likes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I didn't have nothing to cover myself up with. I didn't do a thumbnail. All right, I'll see y'all.